Hey guys, this is IntroducingEmy and we're back with another Redline Tuesday. This one is from Piper Flowers or Pepper Flowers? I think it's Piper. Piper Flowers. That's their signature down there. I don't have a link for them, so we're just going to get going. Some of you might recognize this character as Millbee from the Minecraft server, holding a little pause, unpause doll. So first thing I want to do is kind of... I'm going to drop a plumb line, but I don't think it's going to be of much significance in the long run. But I want to break this into some simpler shapes here. Kind of like flour sack shapes. Yeah. Just like big, nice, long strokes with like big, ploppy limbs, I think look good. For now, we're going to ignore the doll, the pause and pause doll, and just focus on getting a nice, dynamic drawing of Millbee here, and then we'll add the doll. And I think the first thing I'm going to do is kind of push that leg back a little more. So for the head, I kind of like to do a two-lobed thing here, which is sort of like the top of the skull and then the jaw. Just do kind of like a loose center line, and then something I've been doing lately, and I don't know if this is really a great idea or not. I'm still kind of experimenting with it, but I will hand it to you and you can decide if you like it or not, is I kind of do this like little ninja mask sort of thing to mark where the bottom of the eye sockets are, the bridge of the nose, and then back under. And you kind of end up with like a little bit of almost like a Ninja Turtles or like a Mickey Mouse kind of a Sonic the Hedgehog. You know what I'm talking about? Like that kind of like bottom muzzle thing. I do it for a lot of my characters to kind of figure out where everything sits, but I think for this character it's good too. Then let's... First of all, let me make this a little lighter. It's kind of distracting. Okay. So I totally get what you were doing here by trying to like draw the bottom of the muzzle, but what ends up happening is when you have too many lines, especially around the mouth or between the mouth and the nose, they start looking like other mouths and other noses, and like by having a whole bunch of horizontals stacked right in the middle of the face, it's a little hard to read. So I would recommend just drawing the top bridge of the muzzle, you know, a cute little sheepy nose, and then the little split. And I like to kind of just round it off like that, so it's like a little kind of flexed in triangle sort of a configuration rather than just an upside down T. So something like that. Let me go down here to his little sheepy hooves. Again, I think it'd be kind of cool if, and you're kind of already doing it, is sort of like his wool is like piling up over his feet. And rather than just like having a straight line cutting off right there, I would either, yeah, I would like flex the toe in a slightly downward curve. Now I've got him sort of standing with his hooves like facing into each other just because it kind of looks cute, I guess, or like, oops. I was using a cloud brush earlier, a cloud brush eraser, so that's why that just popped up. Sorry about that. So yeah, I've got his like hooves sort of facing inwards, like he's sort of, I don't know what a good word would be, like, I want to say he's looking contrite. That's not really the word I'm looking for. Like he's looking bashful, but still, brave, you know? He's got like this determined look on his face, like a little kid going off into battle. His head has kind of like a Care Bear thing going on, doesn't it? That's more me than you. Um, I'm gonna push the muzzle over a little bit more to try to lengthen it out. And by doing that, it actually... Okay, so if I go like that and that, see how it like really like moves it out? Like it's like you're pulling it out of the face more, which it needed. Um, so yeah, right now I'm pretty much not worrying about the wool too much. I did it down here just because, I don't know, I think it looks good and that's kind of where we're going to be working from a little bit. But for the face and the arms and stuff, you want to make sure that you've got the understructure complete. So let's do his eyes. Let's do big eyebrows. Just for fun. For funsies. Uh, let's also put some little like sheep ears on him, I guess. I know that he has horns, and I will put those on in a minute, but for now I'm gonna put these like little Chobit style ears on him. Let's draw his hooves, and let's give him a thumb. We'll give him like a little... Yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to see the front of his hoof there. You'd probably see like the back of his thumb. So we'll do something like this. Okay. This is like a really fun drawing for me. I've been doing like a lot of serious stuff lately, or like humans and like nothing cute and fun, and I need to like set aside one day a week where I just draw whatever I want to draw rather than just like doing comics and stuff all the time. I almost never like have fun days anymore of drawing. It's always like for work. Um yeah, I'm kind of digging this sort of like, okay, like I know a lot of people who watch my stuff are gonna be like, oh my gosh, you do this shape all the time, but I love like having a big poofy gathering on the end of something. I just think it's like a cool shape, so you're just gonna have to live with it. I'm doing it. Alright, and then I'm going to take this sort of, what would you call this? Like pompadour of hair, but I'm gonna take it this way so that it's like a more interesting silhouette. And let me soften some lines in here. So it's just a little easier to make out what I'm working towards. It'd be fun to do like a how to draw different Let's Players series. I mean, there's no one way, obviously, but he looks so mad. This is like not really his personality. Like, I mean, I'm not criticizing like the way you've drawn him. He looks like adventurous and determined, but it's funny like how goofy he is and stuff. Just draw some big old annoying swirls on here. Put some on his cheeks. His cheek floof. There we go. We'll do a nice big one for his pomp. His pompadour. I don't know what you call that thing. Okay, and then let's do his horns. That's right. I was sitting here like I was gonna do like one other big thing on him. Let me go to a brighter color. Okay, so for horns, they come out of the temple, but you can always say no to that, and put them wherever the hell you want to put them. Ugh. I'm trying to find a color that doesn't look really obnoxious next to the red that you guys can still see. Well, okay, you know what? For tutorial's sake, I'm going to block out the top of this with like a yellow or something so it's a little harder to see. Okay, but you can still see my drawing. It's just orange right now. Just right now, it's orange. No big deal. But just for tutorial sakes, I can do this and we can all see. So let's do some circles. Remember, you're just drawing ellipses here. They're technically circles, but they're in perspective, you know, so yeah, okay. And then rather than like attempting to just draw it all on one big sweep, though that doesn't look bad. But see, I've had practice doing this. I have characters that have horns and stuff. What I recommend doing is either with a different color. So like let's take, I'll just take a pink. So let's pretend that you've tied a thread in the middle of the horn. And then what you're going to do is you're going to run the thread. Okay, sorry. You've tied a thread in the middle of your horn and you're going to run the thread through the horn. And you're going to be like, I want it to go like that. Actually, let's have it go out so we can see it a little more. Like that. So same deal over here. This is where it gets a little trickier. You're going to have to kind of like think in perspective a little bit. So I know he kind of looks like a beautiful ladybug right now. Or something with antennas. So Then what you're going to do is kind of like build little I don't know what you'd call these shapes, like little tapered cones, or not cones, tapered cylinders, uh, to try to build this shape up, and always be mindful of perspective and where your pink internal horn spine thing is. I don't know what you'd call that, but guide. So we're just doing some gentle. Now I gave him some pretty wild horns here, so you may want to run your thread tighter. But if you want to give him some like really wild ram horns, and I mean you could theoretically just, I mean, do something like that, and then, I mean, just run. You know, build along your spine. I mean, you really could just get totally wild with this, and build some interesting, you know, shapes and horns and tails and anything that kind of does that, you know, tapering structural thing. So, yeah. I probably should have made these maybe a little more tighter, though. I might delete these and do different ones. We'll see. Yeah, and I didn't even build it right over here. Let's try different horns. We'll just have a smattering of horns. I'm trying to take up a little bit of time too, because this is going to be a short one. I guess there's nothing stopping you from just doing like a simple, like boxed in horn that kind of looks like a cinnamon from the side. The only problem is you can't really see the cool like spiral on it. That's too tall over there. So like from the side, I guess these would be more like, oh god, not like that though. So more like that. Sort of like a snail shell. If you put like a little opening there, that could be like a little snail shell. Which is closer to what they were in the beginning. Though I think it's kind of interesting. This one, I guess they technically both spiral the same way. Kind of opposite, and this one spirals higher than that one. I guess you could, like, do that. I'm trying to, like, mimic it here. There you go. I think that looks okay. Just try to clean up the middle here. Ugh. So yeah, we'll scrap those giant like demon horns. um, and then let me just put some color behind here so you can see what part is horn and what part is in the background and foreground and whatnot. So a lot of the structure of this horn would probably get lost behind the pompadour and the eyebrows. But that's okay, I think. I think. He's so cute. Wow. Okay. And then for the doll, so now that his arm has kind of changed a little bit, I think what I'll do is I'm going to kind of block out the shape with a color. Put this layer on screen. Not that color though, apparently. Or that one. We'll just go with yellow. Because I need to be able to So let's make the doll bigger for one thing, because when you sort of have like one figure that's of one line thickness and quality, and then you have another figure that is supposed to be part of like the same foreground and, you know, part of like the same element you've already drawn on, but it's like much smaller detailed lines and stuff, it kind of looks like two different drawings. So I'm going to make the doll a little bigger so that they share the same line weight and quality. And I'm just going to pick some color and go for it. So this is a doll, so it doesn't have to be like bestest, you know, detail ever. And I don't have a reference for paws on me. So you're just gonna have to kind of go with my best guess here. I know he's got his headdress with a gem and then tassel, and I'll just give him a little O mouth. And then let's put the hoofy over top in the foreground there. And I know that this is checkered, I think. Something like that. I'm gonna get screamed at by all the Paws on Paws fans for not being a little more familiar with his outfit at this point. I think I've drawn him like 3 or 4 times now, too. Oopsie doopsie. Yeah, so that will be this one. I didn't intend for this to end up so short, but here we be. I guess the only other thing I could say is maybe kind of break up. Let me go over top of it. The only other thing I can say is to like maybe break up this a little bit because it is pretty smooth now that I'm looking at it. Just so that it has like a little bit of a wool quality. I also don't like how that like one toe is just like barely touching this line. Same here, I don't like that. Like, it's a little unavoidable there, but yeah, we'll just do something like that. Alright, that is Millbee. Looking very, very cute. And, he's kind of like wobbled though. Like he's like falling backwards a little bit. Get him up on his feet a little more there. I guess if you wanted to, you could have this foot facing forward more. I kind of wanted it like facing inside, but I guess it doesn't really like matter too much at the end of the day. It's all about how you want to draw your Millbee. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Just be careful you don't put too much weight here. It could come off looking like breasts or weird pectorals or something. It helps that the whole body is kind of like that shape, so when you do it there, see if this was a woman, that would look like a big belly and like the breasts and everything, that kind of going down. So, but I think it's okay because we've got like that kind of a pattern everywhere else. But now that I've said it, your eyes are going to be totally drawn to that constantly, 24/7. I shouldn't have even brought it up. I like it. I like this a lot. I want to color it. So yeah, I would say just make it a little more, like push your shapes even further. Stay loose. Build a nice understructure with consistent swirls and curls and ploppy features, and I think you will you will be on the path to righteousness. Very cute. I love doing that. It kind of like animates a little bit. Oh, the other thing I was going to say was rather than having them like on the flat plane like I mentioned earlier, you could this foot will not let me rest. Must eternally fix feet. Okay. The other thing you could do, since this is supposed to be like their Minecraft avatars, is you could actually put them on like a little square, like a little trapezoidal square. Look at you showing off your perspective moves and everything here. And then you could even have like plants sticking up, but like have them also be like pixelated. So something like that. And you could do like Minecraft flowers or whatever, just so that it's not, you could even put up like clouds in the background too, like little cubey clouds and shapes and things. Just so that you're still feeling that like Minecraft sort of thing. I don't know. I'm just trying to give you some ideas. I thought that would be cute. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna do it for today. It was kind of a short one. Usually mine are my Redline Tuesdays are more like an hour, but that's all right. All right. I will do a little stretch here because I'm done and get working on some other things, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.